on in this computer. Okay, so today the topic is about the human circulatory system. Good morning, Khalid and Abdurrahman. All right, where are you going? Is there a problem with the? Okay, so all right, so log in again. Hopefully, the voice will get better. So the topic is today about the human circulatory system. Let's start. We'll be having a small video session on it as well, but I would like to finish the presentation first, so then we can go to the more interactive and more uh, visual kind of learning. So, what is the objectives of the lesson today? What are we going to learn today? Who would like to tell me? Okay, someone is raising the hand. The first one.
Understanding the human circularity system, why a circularity system is needed for human body, what makes a circularity system, is blood flow important, how does the blood flow in vessels, the direction of blood flowing in arteries and veins.
So, what are the learning objectives?
To understand the human circularity system and what's important in it.
So, what is a human circulatory system? What do you guys know about the human circulatory system?
Circularity, is it something to do with the respiratory? Something similar?
Okay, and
It involves the lungs or heart, one of them I remember.
okay,
And that's all I remember.
okay. Let's see. Khalid has to say something. Yes, Khalid.
Yes, Mr. It's the transfer of the blood from the heart to the
Your
other
mic, please.
body, from the vessel, from the blood vessel.
Khalid, your mic is not in front of you.
Yes, Mister.
Now you can speak.
Yes. The circulatory system is the transfer from the blood from the heart to other organ system and through blood vessels.
That is true.
And it uses lungs and hearts and the blue vessels, which are the blood with carbon dioxide, and the red blood vessels, which are the blood which does not have which has CO2, which is oxygen.
All right. Good. Good. Recall. Yes, Abdurrahman.
Yes, sure. Can I read now?
You were raising a hand to answer the question or to read?
No, I want to answer. Like, I want to read. That's why.
Okay. So what do you see here?
I see the human circulatory system. Circulatory system. What is a pulse and how to find your own pulse? Places where pulse can be found. What?
Yes.
Places where pulse can be found?
Yes. There are places in your body, which is neck and wrist, where you can find a pulse.
Yeah, neck and wrist blood vessels. Arteries and veins. Identify from the diagram. What is the role of arteries and veins?
So what is a pulse?
A pulse is like, and if you know from your heart, it's like when the heart is beating, it's doing a pulse, so it's spreading to the body to pump everything also up. My hand, how am I like moving it, or how am I, it's working because of my heart and it's pulsing.
So the pulse.
So here,
good.
Here, it's like under your thumb.
Under the thumb, exactly. So when you're looking at your hand, the thumb has a big major, one of the arteries. So if you place two of these fingers onto that part, you can actually find your pulse. You cannot find it over here or there. The pulse will be only available in the artery. The veins, there are two kinds of blood vessels. One which has the oxygenated blood, one has the deoxygenated. The red one, as Khalid was saying, with the oxygen, and one without the oxygen, with the carbon dioxide. So we need to find the one with the oxygen, because when the heart is pumping, it pumps the blood first into the artery, into the red vessels. So we can feel the heart beating over here. So if you can do it like this, you can place your hand like that as well. Let me show you.
Yes, and Mister, this place is also it's vital. So if anything if it like if you cut it, if you bleed out, then خلاص you're gonna die, because it's actually almost like connected to the heart, بس
The blood will
because
bleed
صح,
out.
because it's an artery that's why.
Yes, the blood you will bleed out. You're gonna bleed
Yep.
out the whole blood, so that's gonna cause death. So
Yeah.
one is the place over here, and the one is over here. So if you take two fingers, we have these sensitive areas, the first two tips. They're the most sensitive for us. If you put it over here, you can feel the pulse over here. So we have these two places where we can find our pulse.
Oh yeah, صح, here in the neck. I remembered.
So people are raising a hand. Let's see what do they have to say. Let's go to what the summit. Yes, and Khalid.
And Mister, it doesn't work if you put your thumb on your neck and you want to feel it doesn't work. Why?
Because your thumb also has that pulse that's coming from here. The
Both of
pulse,
them?
the, the
Oh,
reason
yes, yes,
we
okay.
the reason we put our finger over here is because it's going to the thumb. So if you use a thumb to find the pulse, then you won't, because there is a pulse in the thumb.
Yeah, Mister,
Okay,
and
thank you.
that's, I tell you something.
Yeah.
So you know why medics, they always go and they try and find the wrist and the neck or something,
To find
because
if the person is alive or not.
yeah, because of the artery and the heart, because if he's alive, then he will be there will be a beat.
Yes.
So yeah,
So they can help him. If the beat isn't
yeah,
there, then they would announce that the guy is passed away.
yep.
Yep, Sami. Mr. Sami, you have the mic.
Yeah, Mister, I want Anwar to answer.
You want to what?
Answer
Answer what?
any question you ask.
Okay, I have any question. So the any question is, what are blood vessels?
Uh, I think I remember. I studied before. The black vessels is uh, inside the blood. It is a puzzle. It is small circle of blood.
All right, so let's check the answers. Thank you, Sami. And thank you, Abdurrahman and Khalid. You were explaining something about the vessels. What are vessels? Blood vessels.
Yes, Mister. Blood vessels. It's like a small tube. It's so small. Its only job is to carry blood out, and the red ones, which holds the CO2, which is oxygen with blood, and the blue vessel, it holds the blood with carbon dioxide.
All right, so good. We have blood vessels. These are the tubes which carry the blood, which will take away the blood. That is true. So there are two kinds of vessels that we have. Number one is the artery. Number two is the veins. Now, the job of the artery is written as it takes the blood away from the heart to the body. And the veins do the opposite. They take from the body, bring it to the heart. So they have their job, as one is distributing and the other one is collecting it back. So the artery distributes it from the heart to all parts of the body. Veins, they will collect from everyone, bring it back to the heart. So any vessel, any tube that you see which is bringing the blood back to the heart, you should say it is a vein. And if it is going away from the heart, you will say it is an artery. 99%, the arteries carries the oxygenated blood, the red colored blood, the blood with oxygen. And 99% of veins are those which are carrying blue colored blood, which is having carbon dioxide and no oxygen. Only one of the arteries and veins which are doing the opposite job is from the lungs to the heart. The one which takes it to the lungs is actually a blue color artery, which is taking the blood to the lungs so they can get oxygenated, so that we can remove the carbon dioxide out. And then the blood coming from the lungs to the heart is red color oxygenated blood. So these are the two exceptions: an artery and a vein, which is connected with the lungs. They do the opposite job. Otherwise, their job is to carry oxygenated blood and deoxygenated. So let's look at it. Let's go to the next slide. So we have deoxygenated and deoxygenated. So let's say Muhammad.
Mr.
Yes, what do you need?
Mr. I have a question. What means the word pulse?
What means the word pulse?
Yeah.
Pulse is like a beat.
Okay.
You know, once you, how can I explain the pulse? Good. Once you're looking at your, pick a fist like this. Do it with me. Muhammad, do a fist like this. Make a fist. Make a fist like that. Muhammad, can you see me?
In the camera, Mr.
You cannot see me?
I can see the slide. Human circulatory system.
You are not. How many of you cannot see me? Raise your hand. Okay, can't see me. Good. All right. So imagine, Muhammad, you have your wrist. Okay, let me ask Abdurrahman. Where is Abdurrahman? Abdurrahman, your camera is off. Okay, it's here. So Muhammad, Abdurrahman, can you show him your wrist and show him? Okay, Abdul, someone can see me, Ma'an can see me, Khalid can see me. Muhammad, why can't you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at the hand, you can see my hand, can you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the thumb, and put your two fingers like this over here, and,
Okay.
and try to observe under the thumb. Show me your hand like this, not like this. Just like this. And put the fingers underneath the thumb like that.
Yeah.
Not the thumb, fingers.
Hey, Mr.
Two fingers.
Yeah.
Yes, like this.
Okay.
And feel it. You will find something moving like this. Tip, tip, tip. Very, lightly. But if you're running, you can feel it fast. Right now we are resting, so it goes like this. Tip, tip. A little bit of pulse, a little bit of movement, a little bit of. Can you find it?
Yeah.
That is a pulse.
Okay.
Right? If you can count it for 6 seconds and then multiply by 10, you will find your heartbeat in a minute. It should be around 70 to 80 beats a minute. If it is more than that, if it goes 90, it's okay. But if it goes to 100, that means you are not healthy. You are being a little bit obese. The heart is pumping more to do the job in a minute when it should be doing only like 60, 70 times a minute. But when you are running, it will go to 120, 130. So,
Okay, thank you, Mr.
all right, thank you, Abdurrahman. You have a question?
Yeah, Mr. صح, when you feel like on your wrist now, sometimes when I feel it, it also my fingers also pulses. I don't know why, and I felt like that sometimes.
The thumb has a very strong pulse. The fingers have very little. But if you're running around, you might feel the pulse of the fingers.
Okay, طيب شكرا.
Let's go to the next. Anybody who has a question, please raise your hands now. Don't lower anybody's hand because this might be something like this. This is from the previous. Okay, we have chat. Yes, Ma'ad. Where is Ma'ad? How are you? Good, Alhamdulillah. How are you, man? So we have to see the difference between the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. The oxygen is the source of energy for us. It has to react with the glucose. So we need the fresh blood. Fresh, we can say oxygen. And deoxygenated means that the blood has given away the oxygen and has taken carbon dioxide. Now the blood is not having oxygen, but it has carbon dioxide. It has the waste from the cell. So this is one of the differences. Second, the function is the oxygen should be provided to all cells, right? And the function of the deoxygenated blood is it takes the carbon dioxide from the cells and goes to the lungs to remove it out. When we breathe out, we release the carbon dioxide. So if nobody is going to take out the carbon dioxide from my blood, I'm going to have trouble, right? My blood will not be clean. And what do we see over here in the picture? Who can explain what picture is showing us? What is this picture on the right side? Okay, let's give the chance to Ahmed. Today, Yasin is absent.
It's an elephant ear.
Why do we have to see an elephant ear?
I don't know, mister.
Okay, Yasin is here. What does it say? So let's say give the mic to Ma'ad. Yes, Ma'ad.
Hi, Mr. Ek. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
We need to see it because there is blood vessels in it.
Because of the
Blood vessels.
good, because we can see the blood vessels. You can see the small lines going over here. Let me grab a pen. These strong lines over here, the diagram, the picture is showing us the blood vessels supporting the blood to all the cells inside this ear. So no matter which part of your body is, you have to have a blood vessel so that you can provide food to it. Right? So good job, Bud. Let's go to the next slide. Anybody has a question? Okay, there are so many questions. Yes, Abdul.
Mr. We didn't discuss the route taken by these blood types.
Sorry? Can you repeat your question again? You muted yourself. Yes.
We didn't discuss the routes taken by these blood types yet. The third question.
We didn't what? Sorry?
We didn't discuss the routes taken by these blood types yet.
Okay, the blood types. We have
Question.
okay. Oh yes. The routes I mentioned in the previous slide that one is going away from the heart and one is bringing back to the heart. One vessel, one type of blood, which is like arteries, the vessels of the arteries. One of them is going to take the blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. That's the route, right? One of them is going from the heart to the body. The second one is bringing from the body to the heart. So one is delivering, the other one is collecting. One is distributing, one is collecting it back. Right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So good point. I was going to miss that. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, there's an activity that you guys have to do at home, and then you'll have to make a picture of it. It's going to be a 3D model, or you can do it on a paper as well, make a beautiful chart or poster where you have to show the heart is with the two sides joined together, but not allowing the blood to move directly from one side to another. We have to make sure that the blood doesn't get mixed up. Yes, the blood vessels, good question, Mark. The blood vessels means blood tubes, right? So the blood tubes have been named because they are doing two jobs. One which is delivering, one which is collecting. So one which is delivering, we call them arteries. The one which is collecting, we call them veins. So good question. We have Sami asking the question. Yes, Sami.
Yes, Mr. This we will do it as a homework.
Yes, it's like a homework. It is
You
like a
put it on
project.
Canvas.
It's a project. Yes, you have to upload the pictures on the homework folder. So this will be taken as a small project activity.
And you put it on Canvas.
Yes, put it on campus.
On each module.
In the module week 7 homework,
Okay, Master.
right? I'll put the instructions as well. So Muhammad Al Uthaymi has a question. Yes.
Mister, what is the due date of the project? Of this
Due
project?
date is, I'll mention it on the canvas.
Thank you, Mister.
Right. Okay, good. Yasin has a question. Yes, Yasin.
Mister, we have a project about this.
It's a small activity. Yes, it will be considered as a project.
Okay, Mister, I have question about the homework.
Yes, right now.
Yes, Mister, about the homework. Mister, in the last question, number 4, how, Mister, they want me to draw something, the enzymes.
Draw something. What?
Draw the enzymes in number 4, question number 4 in the homework.
Okay. Yasin, I'll try to finish this lesson. Let's say before time, 3 to 4 minutes earlier, and then
Okay.
we look into the homework. Right?
Okay.
Okay. This is hard.
Mister
It's hard. Yes, Mr. Who is this?
Ahmed.
Sorry, Ahmed. Sorry. Where did Ahmed go? Yes, Ahmed.
The exams, we're gonna go to the school, yes, Mister?
I am not sure about this. The administration will inshallah confirm. Right?
Thank you.
Okay, good. So this is an activity where we have to show that the blood is running between the lungs and the different parts of the body. Maybe we'll have a diagram on the next page, no, the previous page. I think this one, no, previous slide, this one. This is where it is showing you that, Yasin, I'm not sure about this detail, so please wait till the administration shows it. So this is one of the diagrams which is showing you that the blood is receiving, the blue part is the receiving part and the red part is the distributing part. So we are collecting from the blue side and we are distributing from the red side. So anything which is going away from the heart to organs, this is artery, and then it goes back to the heart through the veins. Okay, we have hands. Let's start with Uthaymi. Yes, Uthaymi.
Mister, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay, no problem. Then we have Ahmed. Yeah, I will just ask a question. No, Yasin. Do you have a question? Where is Yasin? Here's Yasin. Yasin's camera is off. So after seventh, yes, you have the mic.
Mr. So after the when you the heart the blood collects the blood from the organs and brings it back to the heart. It goes to the lungs, then out of the body, the carbon dioxide, or
Yes, that
how
is.
do I,
How do you what?
or how do you get rid of the carbon
That
dioxide?
that is true. Once we will go to the heart, the blood, we will the circulatory system. Since this is just an introduction, we will be discussing in detail that how the heart pumps. Number one. Number two is how it is getting deoxygenated and oxygenated. If you're looking at this diagram, let me explain a little bit right now. The heart is pumping the blood into the lungs. Now, as I've said that, the job who is delivering the blood to the organ is going to be an artery, right? So look at this artery on the right side. Let me grab it. This is the artery which is containing, oh, this is right. This is the artery which contains the deoxygenated blood. This is the only artery in the body which contains the deoxygenated blood. It goes to the lungs. This is my lungs. Over here, we get rid of the carbon dioxide and we get the new blood. And now this is going to be collected and bring it back to the heart, which is from the vein. This is the only vein in the body which contains the oxygenated blood. Other than that, all the veins will contain the deoxygenated blood. So,
Mr.
yes,
Here it says in the deoxygenated blood artery to lungs, but in the other, never mind that question. In the project, can I do it in Keynote?
when you draw it like this, yes, why not?
Okay, thank you. It
All
should
right,
be much better there.
which is much better there. Well, you viewed yourself very fast, man. We are talking. You just viewed it straight away. Let me unmute you. Go for it.
No, I was just saying that the project would be easier in Keynote.
Obviously, look, this is gonna be very simple project. It's not that difficult. Where you have
Yes.
to just show that the heart with the two sides joined together, but not allowing the blood to get mixed in from one side to the other. And the blood vessels that run between the heart and the lungs. This is what we have seen in the previous diagram. And the blood vessels that run between the heart and the tissues. Look at this. Let me show you. Over here, this one shows you the tissues. Let me grab that again. These are your tissues. This is where the exchange takes place. This diagram helps us to understand that the artery divides into very small tubes. We call them capillaries. And once the blood goes into the capillaries, they are so thin and so tiny that the food can easily diffuse, that the oxygen can easily diffuse. And once these capillaries join back again, they are now containing the deoxygenated blood and the other waste of the cell as well. The other waste like urea, which has to go to the kidneys and filter out as a pee. So this is the beginning of, the circulatory system. So let's go to this one. This is the summary part. Who would like to summarize it for me? And we have to watch a video as well. Yasin, should I give you the mic? Where is Yasin?
Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Summary. The heart and blood vessels make up the circulatory system. Blood flows out of the heart inside arteries and back into the heart inside veins. Blood picks up oxygen as it passes through the lungs and releases oxygen as it passes through the tissues in the rest of body.
All right, good. So as Yasin mentioned that number one, the circulatory system is made up of heart. Number two, blood vessel. And number three, I think blood as well. It should be blood as well. There should be. So the heart, the blood vessels, and the blood makes the circulatory system. The blood flows from the heart outside of the body towards the body through the arteries and back inside through the veins. And it carries the oxygen from the lungs. And we have a question from Mahan. Yes, Mahan.
Mister,
Yes.
so no, when the deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs, how carbon dioxide in the blood becomes like air and comes out of that?
Can you speak a little bit louder?
You said that oxygenated blood goes to the lungs.
Yeah.
How
No,
the carbon dioxide?
the oxygenated blood is not going to the lungs. The deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs so that you can remove the carbon dioxide and you can put the oxygen inside. And then it goes back to the heart.
Yeah, but how it transforms from the goes out from the blood
Diffusion.
to
Diffusion.
like
It's a
air and-
simple process. We will look into the structure of the lungs, inshallah. The respiratory system, we will discuss it. In respiratory system, what you're going to see that the lungs contain small balloon-like structures. We call them alveoli. And those balloons have small capillaries, very delicate capillaries. Capillaries are like arteries divided into 1,000 level. You have them about 1,000 level, so they become very, very small in size. So small that the oxygen can actually diffuse it like a ghost. You know, like a ghost can walk through a wall, the oxygen will go walk through those tubes and get into the oxygen. It's just because of the high concentration and the low concentration. So we have high concentration of oxygen, so that's why it gets in, pushed in because of the pressure. And the carbon dioxide has more pressure inside the blood, so it goes out of our body. So this is a simple process of diffusion happening inside the lungs. When we breathe in, take a long deep breath. That means oxygen is rushing into the heart. It's rushing into the blood, sorry. And when you release out, that's where carbon dioxide comes out. No chemical reaction happening. It's a simple diffusion process, right? We will study this, inshallah. Don't worry about it. So let me show you a small video clip on the introduction of circulatory system. I hope you guys can see this screen. It's a 2-minute clip. And after that, we'll go to Yasin's homework.
The circulatory system works to transport oxygen and nutrients to cells in your body while removing waste products such as carbon dioxide at the same time.
Sorry, I forgot to resume the video. I'm going to start it from the beginning.
The circulatory system works to transport oxygen and nutrients to cells in your body while removing waste products such as carbon dioxide at the same time. Hemoglobin, which is the protein present in red blood cells, serves as the main transporter, much like a school bus, with oxygen and carbon dioxide being able to hop on or hop off at the correct destinations. This system is actually a double circulatory system, made of 2 circuits, the pulmonary circuit and the systemic circuit. In the pulmonary circuit, deoxygenated blood is pumped from your heart to your lungs to become oxygenated. In the systemic circuit, this oxygenated blood that is returned to the heart is pumped to the rest of your body. Unlike other muscles in your body, your heart never tires and works very hard to ensure that blood reaches all parts from your head to your toes. Blood is pumped away through the aorta and then through the arteries. Arteries have very thick muscular walls so to withstand the pressure of very fast-flowing blood. These arteries branch into smaller arterioles, which then branch into smaller capillaries that surround all cells. The movement of blood slows down significantly at the capillaries for two reasons. The capillaries are much, much smaller, and slower movement allows for gas exchange. Here, oxygen is offloaded onto cells, so blood becomes deoxygenated and carbon dioxide and other waste products are picked up. Deoxygenated blood then travels away from the capillaries into the venules and then into the veins. Unlike arteries, veins have much thinner walls and valves that prevent deoxygenated blood from flowing backwards. This deoxygenated blood doesn't travel straight to the lungs to become oxygenated. It must first travel to the heart so it can be pumped into the lungs, ready for another round.
If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Comment below if you have any questions.
All right, so that would be all for today. I'll be stopping the recording.